The idea for the spin cooler came from a previous project idea, which was an automatic cocktail maker. We found that the project was too difficult, and so we started bouncing around an idea for a device which would perfectly pour a bottle of beer into a glass. The beer pourer seemed to be too simple and had no obvious customer need, so we started talking about a device which would cool the beverage in a short amount of time. So throughout the concept generation process, our main motivation was to get the perfect alcoholic beverage. When designing the spin cooler, we researched similar devices and found that they all have a very similar function, but none of the ones that we found had a system that cooled the water. For example, the Cooper cooler is a very similar product, but instead of having a mechanism that cools the water, ice is placed in the water storage to keep the water cool. The original design idea had a bottle holder that would adapt to the bottle, but it was too complex for the 3D printers that we have access to. Instead, we made a simple bottle holder from plexiglass for the prototype. The box itself is also made from plexiglass. A lot of time was spent on researching the best way to cool the water. We researched heat exchangers and refrigerator cooling systems, but we ultimately landed on Peltiers, where price and complexity played a big part in the decision. The spin cooler is a device which cools beverages in a short amount of time by spinning a bottle while spraying cold water on it. Spinning the bottle helps by pushing the drink inside the bottle to the walls and also keeping it in motion. Since water is a poor thermal conductor and most drinks are made up of water, cooling a beverage in such a short time would be very difficult without spinning it. The water that is sprayed on the bottle is cooled with 4 thermoelectric coolers, also called Peltier coolers. The Peltier coolers cool down an aluminum liquid cooling plate which the water runs through. A heatsink is mounted on top of the hot side of the Peltiers, and 2 powerful fans remove the heat. Since Peltiers keep a constant temperature difference between the sides, the hot side needs to be kept at a relatively low temperature. All that the user has to do is place the bottle inside the spin cooler, select the type of bottle that they want to cool from the touchscreen, and wait for 1 to 5 minutes.